All right, y'all, we are live on this beautiful Thursday afternoon. May God bless you all in the name of Jesus, Yeshua the Messiah. I do pray everybody watching is super blessed as the Bitcoin price is dumping down right now, guys. We are below $87,000 currently right now, as can be seen, and we have broken down from the low that we made yesterday, man. And this is a rare occasion where your boy actually just shorted the bottom. I shorted the bottom, you know? And here we are. When shorting the bottom works, again, that is a bullish signal. Eventually, the big pump is going to come. It's always out there somewhere, guys. The pump is always out there. Guys, today, KCEX is giving away $1,000. All right? KCEX, lowest deal on fees, period. Make sure to check out KCEX. Link in the description, and they're giving away $1,000. All you need to do to be eligible to win the $1,000, guys, is sign up to KCEX using the link in the pinned comment of the live stream, right up here. All right, click the link, get a user ID, and you'll be eligible for the $1,000 giveaway. Bitcoin Fear and Index today, guys, currently at 11. That's super, super low. That's super low. Let's give a shout to everybody in the chat. How's the audio, guys? Let's. All right. Check one, check two. Shout out to BTC Wizard. Shout out to Tina D. Shout out to Millennia 1733. Why up? Tell us why, says Ink Warrior. Well, the reason why we're getting a dump, guys, is simply because, I mean, it literally, what can we say? It goes back to the fact that we came to the top of a macro range. We got a fake out of the high with bearish divergence, which prompted the short trade back on October 6th. And we are continuing down. Every support that we come to, we are getting bounces, but these bounces are short-lived. We did get a bounce from support at 107. But when we lost the 107 support, well, then we were targeting $98,000 as our next support. We got a bounce from 98K. Was a juicy long trade, but we back tested the previous support as resistance, and then we got a rejection, so we were shooting for the next support, which in that case was going to have to be around $92,000, like the low to mid 90s. The low to mid 90s was our next support. Well, we came down to the low to mid 90s. We tried to get a little bit of a bounce from the low to mid 90s, and we formed a little bit of a local range, right? From the low to mid 90s, a local range, and we tried to get the bounce, right? We tried to get our bounce once, we tried to get it twice, then we broke down from there. And so the breakdown currently, now we're expecting our next big support, which is probably going to be around the mid to low 80s. All right, so that is why we're getting moved to the downside. It's going level to level, and all the levels are being respected. We should note that all the levels so far are being respected, right? We're getting bounces from support, but we're not seeing a change of market structure, right? Every time we come to support, we're simply making another lower high, and the pattern continues. And so until we see a change of market structure, we should continue to expect downside until we come to the bottom of the range itself, which is going to be taking out $74,000. And I did post on Twitter yesterday. Let me know what you think. I said I sold Bitcoin at 120K. I'm so glad I sold it at 120K. I'm not buying again until we're under 70K. Check back in February to see if I'm retarded or not. And yeah, this is my plan, guys. This has been my public Bitcoin plan since 2023. Since 2023, I've been telling everybody on my YouTube live streams, I'm going to sell 60, 80, 100, 120K. And then I'm not going to buy back until the bear market. So far, so good. Now, make sure to follow me on Twitter. Let me know if I'm retarded or not. In fact, somebody even made a poll in the comments here. Let me see if I can find it. Where's the poll? I guess there is no poll in the comments. Somebody made a poll, retarded or smart. Oh, here we go. So far, I'm 57% retarded, only 42% smart. All right. Let me know what you're thinking. Make sure to follow me on Twitter. Also, guys, make sure to sign up to KCEX if you want to win $1,000. All right? If you want to win $1,000, make sure to sign up on KCEX. We're giving away $1,000 today via KCEX. Also, guys, if you like the stream and we get 1,000 likes from the first half hour, I'll be giving away $1,000 courtesy of Jason Casper. All right? Shout out to John. Any guesses where you should set buys for XRP? Well, John, I'm not the biggest XRP fanatic, okay? But because of the super chat, I will take a look at the chart for you. Let's take a quick look at XRP. All right. So right now, I'd say $1.60 is going to be pretty key support. However, if we're heading into more of a bear market, well, or at least I shouldn't say a bear market, but I should say more of a local downtrend, then I would be interested in, well, 160 is a really important level, man. You know what's funny is I'm going to tell you what I said to everybody before the big pump, which is this. I will buy XRP on spot at 30 cents. All right? I will buy XRP on spot at 30 cents. You're going to hate this answer, all right? And I will sell it at $5. And I will share the profits with my YouTube viewers. Okay? So take everything and then send it. All right? When this happens, if this happens, it could still happen, guys. That would be insane, but there would have to be some crazy fundamental things. $1 is a key support for XRP. Like the back test of $1 right now is going to be a super key support. It was a big breakout, consolidation BART pattern down to $1, more towards 56 cents. In fact, let's go ahead and just look at the volume here. Yeah, I would say 50 cents is a really good place to get XRP, assuming this is going to be a Bart Simpson pattern here, which it really does start to look like. I mean, we came up so quick, we could easily just fill all this real quick, and we have the high volume node right down at 50 cents. So that'd be like an amazing place to buy XRP if you're looking for a cheap price. And I do think we're going to see XRP at $5 eventually. So that would be about, you know, let's say about a 900% gain if it's possible. But right now, $1.60, $1.50 are three really nice levels. All right. Let's see who else we got in the chat. Oh my goodness, the Bitcoin price is getting lower. We have our next support right around the 786 level. All right. Let's see who else we have in the chat. God bless you guys. Shout out to Daryl. Hi from New Zealand. Shout out to FB Zam. It hurts, man. You bought 33 cents? Nice. How persistent is the sell momentum? Well, we have 2-month bearish divergences, guys. All right. We have 2-month bearish divergences right now on Bitcoin. All right. So, fear and greed index, guys, is at a very low number. We're at 11. In fact, let's just make sure. Yeah, 11 as of today. You know, this is, historically speaking, a bullish indicator, because whenever we see fear get very extreme, it's only a matter of time before we see a big pump to the upside. And right now, fear is very extreme. People are selling. We look at the order flow. Look at this, guys. I mean, literally, for the last, this is the 15-minute chart here. It's currently 17 o'clock. For the last 5 hours, look at the massive amount of shorts opening up here. Look at the massive amount of shorts. 11 million shorts. 4 million. We got 15 million, 16, 17. We have like right here 40 million, 45, 55, 85, 100 million shorts, guys, opening up here. $100 million of shorts. That's crazy. Opening up here in the last few hours. So people are bearish right now, which it's only a matter of time before the big old squeeze. All right. It's only a matter of time. The question is, where is that going to happen? We take a look at the news today, and even the news is bearish. People are selling. Bitcoin slips back below 90K. I mean, from the writing of this article, we're even far below that. But, you know, Bitcoin loses $90,000. That's a very key support. People don't realize that is such a key support. The low to mid 90s was our very key support that we were looking for so long. We just lost it. The drop comes after the all-time high in October. We're about a 30% drawdown right now since the all-time high. And honestly, this historically in the uptrend so far since 2023, This is as low as we have come. If we dip lower than where we are now, this is going to be a big change in the uptrend. Everybody is under sell pressure right now. The institutional money via the ETFs saw about $2.3 billion leave in the last 5 sessions. All right, so the last 5 days that the ETF markets are open, we saw over $2.3 billion leave. Pretty crazy. Now, an analyst at K33, according to this article, is suggesting a local Bitcoin bottom between 84 and 86 if this drawdown mirrors recent patterns. All right, so this guy, K33, in this article, whoever the heck K33 is, I don't know. But I would say that K33, Vetel Lundente, all right, he is saying that he's looking for a local bottom right around our 786 Fibonacci, right around here where we're looking for a local bottom. He says, if we don't hold this local bottom, according to an analyst, that isn't me, but he agrees perfectly with what I've been saying for a long time, we're going to see a much deeper pullback. The reason why is because we are seeing a change of what's been normal this whole uptrend, right? Any lower than 85K, we're breaking market structure on the monthly, and he expects to come back into the 70s. All right. So I don't know who this random analyst is, just some random person, probably CoinDesk using AI to write this article, who knows? But I have to agree, 84 to 86K where we're at right now is very crucial. If we can't hold it, we are going to be coming back down to the bottom of the range. Fed rate cut odds plunge further on the jobs data delay. This is more bearish news. Basically, as we know, one of the things that's been kept the sentiment in the market bearish is the fact that the Federal Reserve has been, basically, they have been hinting that they are hawkish, that they're not going to be cutting rates in December, which has caused the market to be, well, pretty bearish. And now with the jobs data, essentially what's happening here is, well, it's causing more bearish sentiment in the market. So it was a pretty high percentage. If we go to the CME Market Watch, Fed Watch, and the CME website, people were expecting a December rate cut back in October. It was like 80-something%. Then it dropped to 60%. Right now, on the jobs data delays, it's now 33% people are expecting a rate cut, which means 67% chance no rate cut. This is really bad for bullish sentiment in the market, right? People are expecting bearishness to happen. Now, here's the good news about this. Here's the good news about this. A lot of times, we do see the market price in the projected rate cuts and or no rate cuts. So, for example, when the Fed decided to cut rates last time, which ended up being kind of bearish for Bitcoin, right? The pump happened before the rate cut. So we pumped into the rate cut and then we started to dump. Well, perhaps now the opposite will happen. We will dump into the rate pause, and then maybe we will see the market react bullishly, right? Buy the rumor, sell the news. In this case, sell the rumor, buy the news. So there is a silver lining here in a sense that a lot of times, because the market already prices in what they expect to happen, right? People are bearish now, so people are selling because of what they think is going to already happen. So it's as if it's already happened, according to the market. They're already expecting it. They're like, it's as good as done. Let's sell, right? So then when it actually happens, guess what? Everyone already sold. And then we start to see a reversal. Just like what happened when they were expecting the rate cut in October. Everyone's buying, bullish, bullish, bullish. And then it happens. Well, there's no more buyers, all right? People are taking profits now. We had the big pump. Interesting stuff. Look at this. You can get a Genesis car. I never even heard of a Genesis car. This is an interesting article. Kraken confidentially files for IPO as crypto firms eye listings before 2026 midterms. This is interesting. Kraken, the major exchange, has secretly filed with U.S. regulators for an initial public offering, aiming for a U.S. listing. The filing comes as digital asset companies are increasingly seeking public listings before 2026 midterms. Kraken's most recent valuation was $20 billion, which is about a 33% increase in less than 2 months. So Kraken is doing good. Now, this is some bullish news across the board, okay? I'm not saying it's going to lead to a big old pump, but what it does tell us is it's showing us that there's an increase in institutional interest in the cryptocurrency sector. The fact that an exchange like Kraken is preparing for a United States IPO, I mean, this is showing that crypto is more than just nerd money on the internet, right? People are starting to take crypto seriously. And so although things look bearish in the short term, this is a more macro, big picture, bullish, fundamental piece of information here. All right, one of the biggest exchanges in the world, which is up literally 33% in its valuation in the midst of a crypto crash. So in the midst of a dump, they're up. And it's just legitimizing crypto across the board, which, you know, it's a double-edged sword. For us true crypto people, we hate traditional finance and crypto mixing. But for those of us who are in it only for the money, this is good, right? And I have to say I'm in it for a little bit of both, right? I'm kind of in crypto for a little bit of both, guys. I'll be honest with you. I mean, at first I got into crypto because I hated the government and because I hated traditional finance. But now I look at crypto as this, right? The reality is traditional finance has co-opted crypto. All right, they've co-opted crypto. So there's a window. All right, there's a window here. And eventually the window's going to close and crypto is going to be used to enslave mankind, right? So the window's open right now. And right now we have this opportunity while the window's open to come inside the window and grab as much money as we can. As much money as we can while the window's closing. It's closing before, you know, blockchain is used to enslave the whole world and all this kind of stuff, right? And we're all on universal basic income with our digital currency after the fourth industrial revolution, living in the smart cities, eating gray pellets that taste good because Neuralink tricks our brain into thinking the plastic tastes good. But while we're waiting for that window to close, we can come in here, we can grab all the money, and we can use that money to go outside the window and build things like farms and build good communities like homeschool communities so we can raise our own children and get the resources we need to raise children that aren't being raised by the state to be mindless zombies who worship the state. And we can like help out our communities. And so we have this window that's closing. So I'm in it right now. I'm in it for the money so that I can take it out and try and build something that's going to protect my family, my community when things get really bad, right? So I'm in it for a little bit of both. So for me, the fact that, you know, we're seeing the institutional legitimization of crypto, that means our bags are going to pump in the short term. And as that window's closing, we're going to be able to get out of there with more and more stuff. All right? I hope that makes sense. Interesting article here. It has nothing to do with Realtor.com. But Bitcoin miner prospects up on AI power shortage. Interesting little article here. Analysts at JMP Securities initiated some coverage of several Bitcoin mining companies, including Cypher Mining, IREN, and Riot, with outperform ratings, citing their pivot into AI infrastructure and high-performance computing. So we're seeing a pivot from some of these mining companies, from mining Bitcoin into AI infrastructure and high-performance computing. I guess that includes quantum computing and things like that. And the reason why they're doing it is because, well, they already own large-scale power capacity from all their mining rigs. And it's just an easy pivot for them to now come into the AI/high computing world. And what's interesting here is that they're estimating that there may be a shortage of the 50 gigawatt data center power capacities by 2030. Very interesting stuff. The reason why I think this matters is because this is actually showing us that crypto in and of itself is more than just like digital nerd money, right? The infrastructure is basically it's going beyond just tokens, right? It's showing us that this is going to be moving beyond just numbers on a screen into real life assets. Very interesting. You know what I was just talking about a second ago about how I believe this is heading down a little bit of a dystopian road, and that is just my view. I think this is a step in that direction where we're seeing crypto, blockchain technology now pivoting toward the AI route and the quantum computing route. It's now building the infrastructure for the things that will be needed in order to have the fourth industrial revolution happen, right? They're right now building infrastructure that's going to enslave the whole world via AI and quantum computing and blockchain all mixed together. This doesn't really have anything to do with the price action, but I still thought it was a pretty interesting article nonetheless. And that leads us right into our Bitcoin price here. As you can see, the Bitcoin price has lost the support around $88,000. Let's start on our daily time frame here, guys. All right. So as we all know, well, maybe some of us don't. Ever since we came up to the top, right, around $126,000, and we took the short trade in the Casper Crew VIP Discord at jasoncaspertrading.com. Click the link to join the best trading community in the world. We have seen the Bitcoin price get a significant drop. And first we were looking for $92,000 because that was the bottom of the sideways range. And remember, we're always looking to trade the sideways range. What is the sideways range? That's how you should always be approaching the charts as a trader. Well, in this instance, the sideways range was a low at 92,000, a high at 125. We came down to 92, ignored the October 10th liquidation wick, and we get a little bit of a bounce. But instead of actually being able to make a higher high, we simply just came to the top of this high and got a rejection, right? When we got the rejection, then what were we expecting? We were expecting now the price to come down to the bottom of this range right here, right? Now we had a range down around $98,000. This was the new sideways range. We were calling for 98K. We come down to around 98K. We get a little bit of a bounce. We back test now what used to be support. Remember, first we were shooting for 92. We got the little bounce from 92. Rejection. Now we're shooting for, we're looking for 107. Then we were looking for 92. We get the bounce from 92. We come up, we reject from 107. Now 107, this is the short setup that was given in the Casper Crew VIP Discord. Actually, we did give the setup from here. I just didn't get to take it. We gave the setup from here, took it in real time, gave the setup from here, gave the setup from here, took it in real time. All right. In fact, that trade I added to it and eventually ended up closing it out for a profit earlier today. Right. And then what? Then we're shooting for the low to mid 90s. Why were we shooting for the low to mid 90s? Well, because then the sideways range became this. All right, where we were basically looking at the previous support from January 2025, confluence with the resistance in March 2025, and now this is going to be our sideways range. Okay, so what has happened right now is we came down to the range, we tried to get a bounce. Look at this. We come down to the level, you know, this is rough. We get a little bit of a bounce from the level, nice move up, but we can't even make a higher high. We continue to make these lower highs, and then this morning, we just get another breakdown. We're currently breaking down once again from that support. So what does this mean? Well, until we reclaim this level of $90,000, we should be expecting lower prices, right? Until we reclaim that level, we should be expecting lower prices. Where do we expect next? Well, like I said, there is a area of support around the $85,000 level. This is going to be our Fibonacci 786. All right, we also have the high volume node of this little consolidation right here. That's going to be around 83. So between, let's say, 83 and 86, this is going to be our next support. If we can't hold this support here, then we are going to be going to the bottom of the sideways range, which is going to be the low 70s. All right, so we're taking it level by level. Now, in my opinion, so far, things are bearish, so we should expect the downtrend to continue until we see a higher high or any sign of strength. So right now, even if we come down to this level, I would expect that we get a little bit of a bounce and then come down even lower, right? Because so far, that is the trend. Now, hang on, what the heck? That is the trend, okay? Could we make a bottom here and shoot up to an all-time high? Yes. Anything is possible. But this is right now the technical reasons as to why we are seeing this Bitcoin drop right now, okay? And so really my next major target for this is going to be underneath the previous low. Around 65K is where I'm actually going to be shooting next for this short trade, okay? Now, let's remove all the drawings from the chart and let's take a look at our weekly market cipher B. All right, we're going to do some top-down analysis here. First of all, we need to understand that as long as we're holding this high right here, as long as we're not losing this level, 74,380, there is a chance that we form something known as a hidden bullish divergence. A hidden bullish divergence is when the price makes a higher low and the oscillator makes a lower low. And this hidden bullish divergence could give us a big bounce, all right, and a higher high. As soon as we lose $74,400, I would say this market cipher structure that we've had since the bottom of the bear market officially flips into bear market territory. As soon as you make a lower low in the price and the momentum makes a lower low, that is officially, in my opinion, the end. Does it mean we're going to go straight down from here? No. It probably means we're going to get a relief rally from here and make another lower high and then continue down. Right? That's probably what's going to happen because a very oversold momentum wave is going to give you relief. All right. For example, the last bear market, look what happens when you get the very oversold weekly momentum wave. Guess what? You end up with a bounce of about 45 to 47% before more downside. Right? So you would expect something similar like this to happen. However, if we don't take out that low, then there is a chance that we are forming a hidden bullish divergence, which does still have the potential to give us another higher high. We go to the daily time frame right now. And the daily time frame on Monday, I'm sorry, was it yesterday or Monday? I forget. Was printing a green dot. That's now invalidated. The yellow oscillator looks bearish here. We're getting floppy butt cheek syndrome on the daily time frame, where the butt cheek looked like it was going to form here, but it flops down. We go to the 4-hour time frame, and things were looking really nice here a few days ago. You guys saw the long I took. That got wrecked live. I even took a long earlier this morning. That got wrecked as well from the Fibonacci Golden Pocket. But so far, I mean, the money flow is coming back out. It's not looking the best. The 1 hour is looking decent right now, like potential bull div. Nothing different than what we've seen this whole way down, okay? So what does this mean for us as traders? Here is how I am personally approaching this. I am looking for long trades at my key levels of support. All right. If I see a valid entry, I'm going to go for the trade using good risk management, which means I'm not going to be risking more than 1% of my account per trade, which means if I take 3, 4, 5, 6 losses, I'm down, well, 6%. All right. However, I know that eventually we're going to get a bounce, right? So let's say I lose 6%. Eventually I get into a good long trade from 65K and we get to move back up to here. Well, guess what now? This trade is going to be a massive move. Let's say it's a 45% bounce, right? A 45% bounce on Bitcoin is going to well offset my 6% loss and pay me way more than that. In addition to this, guys, I've been shorting Bitcoin since the all-time high. And I'm up tens and tens of thousands of dollars. So, for me, I'm just playing the wait for a good setup and wait and see if that's the trade. That is how I'm currently approaching this. Let me just say, this is not for everybody for a number of reasons. Number one, you have to have really good discipline with your risk management to do that. Number two, you have to have the patience to wait for price to come to a key level of support. Right? You cannot just do this arbitrarily on every little drop or you're going to lose everything. You need to, in advance, have your levels marked and have reasons to get into a trade, right? And that's the only reason you should be taking long trades on the way down without waiting for an actual good change of structure confirmation, right? So I just want to make that very clear. But that is my current strategy here, right? Holding my my short trades, which are up massively. I'm looking for long trades with good risk management. And if I happen to get into a long trade, risking my 1%, let's say this happens, and I'm up, now what I can do is, okay, I say we've changed market structure again, we're back inside the range, then what I can do is I can look to compound the trade and bring it back up to around 110, 111,000. And then basically, that's how I would plan to do it, right? That's how I think is the best way to approach this right now, because we are not holding these supports, and we're coming down to supports with bullish divergences, but the bullish divergences are not really holding, okay? So if we're going to lose 74, then I expect we will come down to the price of around 65,000. If we take all the volume that we traded going all the way back to here, well, you can see that our $63.5 thousand is the value area high. We take our Fibonacci from the low to the high. We've got our Fibonacci golden pocket right there as well. We're basically looking to come and back test the support resistance flip from the previous bull market all-time highs, right? That's also going to be the bottom of our local range, because right now the high of our range is 126,000, the low is under 70,000, and I'd say that we could see something like this where we take the low, form a little bit of range, then we come back inside, and then eventually, depending on how long that takes, enter into more of an uptrend. And of course, there's a lot of talk right now about whether or not the 4-year cycle is broken. So here's the thing. Right now, this pullback we're having right now is right on schedule with the 4-year cycle. It's right on schedule. November 2025, right on schedule, okay? And so far, we have seen about a 31% pullback. So this 31% pullback right now is right on schedule. It's right on schedule. When was the last scheduled pullback for Bitcoin as per the 4-year cycle? It was back in January 2024. ETF launches, and we reject from the Fibonacci 618 from the bull market top to the bear market bottom. Now, historically speaking, according to the way the 4-year cycle works, when we come up to the local golden pocket, we get a rejection of about 45 to 50%. So I was expecting a 45 to 50% pullback here, as per the 4-year cycle, which would have taken us down to around, let's see here, that would have taken us back down to around the $30,000 level, right? The retest of the $30,000 level, right? Instead of getting that 45 to 50% pullback, we ended up with about a 20% pullback, and then we hit a new all-time high before the halving. So this tells me right now the pullbacks are happening on schedule, but they're not as deep as they were before all the institutional investors started getting involved. So if the pattern of on-schedule pullback, not as deep, is going to still hold, well, that's another reason why we would expect this time, instead of a 70-80% pullback, just, a 50% pullback, right down to around the $65,000 level, where we're looking for our Fibonacci golden pocket to come in right there as well, right? So that's where I'd be looking if we're going to lose the supports that we've already outlined here. Now, again, remember, the one last hope that we have right now is this, guys. All right? I'm not saying this is guaranteed to happen. As a trader, I am looking for a bounce from this area right here. If we can bounce from this area, the uptrend is intact, the hidden bullish divergences are confirmed, and we can look for some nice relief. In fact, even if the uptrend is over and this is our high, I'd say it would be this would be a really good place to look out for a relief as well, right? That'd be a really great place to look out for relief as well. Why is this a great place to look out for relief? Well, you have to think like a market maker. Market makers, what do they want to do? If the market makers are real. Market makers are real. But are they this fat guy out in a yacht with a hot chick who's purposely trying to get you wrecked? Maybe. All right. But what are market makers going to do, right? They're going to wreck as many people as possible. What would wreck as many people as possible? Bouncing from a higher low, reclaiming key support, getting really bullish stuff, hidden bullish divergences, only to get everybody saying, oh, I'm super bullish again, and then we reject right from the 618 Fibonacci and throw it right back down. If you are a big player in the market, if you want to buy a lot of Bitcoin, you need a lot of sellers. What do you do in order to get a lot of people to sell Bitcoin? You dump the price. When we take a look at the order flow, what have we seen? 100 million people shorting. All right, people are like, Jason, it's not 100 million people, it's $100 million. Look, I called up the market maker. He said there's 100 million individuals who only have $1 in their trading account, and they all shorted with their $1. 100 million people shorted this in the last 5 hours. This means that, and everything's bearish across the board, right? We're seeing institutional money leave Bitcoin, ETF outflows, even the news is bearish, no rate cuts in December. Right now, people are being enticed to sell, which means if you're a market maker, you have a lot of people selling. You're like, man, you're walking around, does anyone have a Bitcoin I could buy? Everyone's like, me. Oh, me, buy it from me. They're like, okay, I'll buy it from you. They buy everyone's Bitcoin. Then guess what? Boom, they pump it up. Now everyone's bullish again. Everyone's buying their Bitcoin back. All right, now the market maker is ready to push the price down, but in order to do so, man, he needs people who are willing to buy Bitcoin, right? And so the market maker's like, hey, I've got some Bitcoin for sale. Anyone want to buy some? All the retail, oh, me, I'll buy it. Okay, now the market maker has a lot of Bitcoin. Guess what you can do with it? Boom. All right, that's how it works. And so it almost makes more sense to me to have a bit of a relief rally before taking the low to get everybody bullish again, just to dump it lower. That makes the most sense. Could we come right through here like a hot knife through butter? Yeah, and we've seen it happen before with Bitcoin. I mean, we've seen it happen before with Bitcoin. But, I mean, we've seen those crazy wicks, right? The October 10th wick. But it makes more sense to me considering how much selling pressure we're seeing here. It makes more sense to me that first, we wreck a bunch of shorts, flip everybody bullish, and then come down lower. Okay, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but that's just kind of what makes the most sense to me right now. Given how bearish this is, given the fact that myself and many others have been waiting for this bounce to happen, it's just not happening. Eventually people are going to say, all right, it's not going to happen. It's not happening. And maybe we come down a little bit lower, like, you know how market makers like to play it real sneaky, right? But be aware of something like that to happen. If we start to come back up towards this area, I'm going to be very, very interested in a short trade from that area, okay? Yeah, so could I be wrong? Yeah. And could we go straight to $200,000 from this exact price? Yes. Could the bottom be in right now as we're forming this nice looking bottom for the first time all day? We're forming this nice little bottom here. Yeah, the bottom could be in right now. All right, it could be. And I could be wrong. Remember, make sure to follow me on Twitter. All right, I posted yesterday. I'm glad I sold 120,000. I sold Bitcoin at 120K. I'm not buying it till under 70. Check back in February to see if I'm smart or retarded. Follow me on Twitter. And also, guys, make sure to sign up to the KCEX link in the description over on KCEX. All right, lowest fees in the game, baby. We are giving away $1,000 during this live stream, courtesy of KCEX. So if you want to win, sign up to KCEX. I'm telling you right now, if you want a chance to win, sign up to KCEX. I'm telling you now, yesterday people were like, I didn't have enough time to sign up to KCEX for a chance to win the prize. I'm telling you right now, you want to win the prize? Sign up to KCEX. Link in the pinned comment. Right now, you want to win? Just click the link. All right? You want to win? Click the link. Do it. Do it now. Yeah, we are seeing a little bit of open interest decrease. We're seeing a little bit of long trades opening here. We're seeing a little bit of bullishness happening. You know, this actually is a change for the day. Honestly, this is a change for the day, right? So this could be a bottom, at least locally here. Okay, let's take a look at Ethereum. Let's take a look at good old Ethereum, baby. So ETH well below 3,000. We're even now below the support resistance slip right here. This daily candle closing below 28.79 is not good. Now, shout out to my man Felix. Where's Felix? I remember Felix, he said, Jason, we're never going to come down to the golden pocket. It's never going to happen. Well, here we are. Here we are. We're coming down to the golden pocket. Now, again, right now, I would say this. I wish it wasn't so. Let me preface all of this by saying, guys, I am not happy that we're losing the value area low of the bull market. I take no pleasure in the financial destruction of many. And I take no pleasure in the drop of these assets. Let me be totally honest with you. All right? So when I talk about these things in a way that's like, I warned you, I'm not saying that because I'm happy. And I'm not saying that because I'm trying to vindicate myself. The only reason I'm saying this is because the writing was on the wall. All right? The handwriting was on the wall. And people said it would never happen, and now it's happening. And so I'm in the same boat as you guys. I'm holding ETH on spot right now that I bought at $1,300. I held it all the way up to $4,000. I held it all the way down to $1,300. I held it all the way up to $5,000. And now I've held it all the way back down to $2,800. Okay? Let me just make that clear. Okay? So I'm not happy about this. But the reality is, right now, the fact that we are losing the value area low of the bull market range now for the second time means the most probable level to come down to now is going to be 2,000. Why do I say that? Well, because besides the golden pocket that we have right here, we have the support resistance slip that literally goes back to February 2021 at $2,000. It was resistance, split to support, bear market resistance, bull market support. And so now this is going to be the next area of the sideways range to be looking to trade, right? This is our sideways range. The sideways range is right here, right? We are right now in the middle of the range. If the middle doesn't hold, you come down to the bottom. That's going to be around 2,000. And it does look like a nice level. Now, here's the thing. Again, remember, if the 4-year cycle is broken, that means we are not going to see insane blow-off tops and deep valleys that we've seen in the past. Which means this could stable out, and we may very well do what we've done the whole bull market. We might do what we did in the bull market in the bear market, which is trade sideways, right? Trade sideways. Now, do I hope we see a $5,500 ETH by January? Yeah. Could it happen? Of course, anything's possible. But if this level doesn't hold here, guys, I'd say the probabilities say, no, we're coming back down to around the $2,000 level. So that's the sad reality about Ethereum. The major level on ETH that needed to hold, guys, was the $3,300 high volume node of the bull market. And if that doesn't hold, look at this. The last 4-year range is taking us right down to the $2,000 level. All right, so we lost the high volume node. All signs say price is going to get sucked down toward this area. Now, again, it pains me to say it because I was extremely bullish on ETH. I was calling for $5,500. We never even hit 5,000 on Bybit. All right, down here, I was extremely bullish. At least I was right about getting a new all-time high, but it was not what I was expecting. I was expecting 5,500, 8,500. All right. So my plan with ETH right now is essentially to do nothing. And my entry right now on spot is around 1,300. And so, yeah, I'm just going to wait it out in the range here, guys, until eventually this thing pumps. Because here's the thing. I don't care what people say. Ethereum is not a bearish asset, right? Ethereum is not going to zero, guys. All right, Ethereum is not going to zero. No way. Now remember, not financial advice, but I can't even fathom that ETH is going to go to zero, right? I think fundamentally, Ethereum is a bullish asset, has a great use case. People use it all the time. I think it's the future. And so eventually, this thing, in my opinion, is going to break out of the range and make another high, right? And if we just zoom out here, there's nothing bearish right now about this. There is absolutely nothing bearish about getting a big move up and then trading in between resistance and support for a few years before another move up. That is just the way markets move when there's actual money in the market. And let's not forget, there's a lot of money in these markets, right? Altcoins right now, not quite $1 trillion market cap, but just recently it was over $1 trillion market cap. That being said, let's take a look at Bitcoin dominance. Where is Bitcoin? Where's my, aha. Okay, Bitcoin dominance. Let's take a quick look. Continuing to come down. Okay, now remember, this is bullish for altcoins if Bitcoin's not dumping, right? If Bitcoin's not dumping, if Bitcoin is holding support and or going up slowly, this is really bullish for altcoins. When the whole market's in the red, this is just bearish in general. I'd say we can still target 57% on Bitcoin dominance. That's going to be our next low ever since breaking down from the macro channel. So we would expect the downtrend then to continue and we come and take out the 57%. Take a quick look at altcoin dominant. All right, so sad to say, guys, altcoin dominance is breaking down. Not so yeah. Money's leaving in general right now across the board. Spot, ETFs, all that stuff. All right. The Bitcoin price finally just has closed a bullish 30-minute candle for the day. All right. A bullish 30-minute candle for the day. So I'm going to go ahead and close this short. All right. Short at the bottom. I'm going to go ahead and close that one out. All right. Right now, we might see more upside and then more downside. I don't know. But this is something we have not seen all day. All right. We've got a 30-minute candle close. We're 15 minutes into this next 30-minute candle. Maybe we see a little bit of upside. If this is going to continue this downtrend here, then let's be aware of this. Just kind of trend line. We've got this like trumpet pattern thing forming here. All right. Let's see if we can find any kind of patterns here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I do still expect lower, but the reason I closed the trade is because I shorted the bottom. And let me take my $3,000 and get out of there. You know? All right. Let's see. Who we got in the chat? We got some super chats in the house. Guys, remember to sign up for KCEX for a chance to win $1,000. Sing the inverted pump song. Maybe we will sing the inverted pump song, guys. Okay, maybe we will sing the inverted pump song. Maybe we will sing the inverted pump song. All right, we got a super chat from, by the way, Marcuso Valero. Thank you so much for your super chat. USDT dominance, USDC dominance is at range highs with this suggested rotation back into Bitcoin and alts. We're at range highs on Bitcoin dominance. Oh, USDT dominance. We're at range highs. Well, let's check it out. Let's go to our weekly chart. Yeah, it could. It could, and it would line up nicely with the fact that Bitcoin is coming to our last kind of key support here. So yeah, you're right. We're at range highs on USDT dominance. Let's see if this is enough to give us a last pump on Bitcoin. You know, what's interesting is, though, USDT dominance has a nice bull dip on the weekly and has now broken out on Market Cipher B of the momentum downtrend here. So we had a momentum downtrend on Market Cipher B, and we've officially broken out with a pretty high momentum wave right here at 70%. And so, yeah, that could signal us getting a relief bounce on Bitcoin, and maybe something like this on USDT dominance in the event of more downside and we see a $65,000 Bitcoin. Or, you know, we get something crazy and unexpected, and we see massive pump across the board, and we make new all-time highs on Bitcoin. But yes, that is a valid reason to be looking for whatchamacallit, a move back into cryptos in general, you know? A move back into cryptos. Is this a good opportunity to buy Bitcoin? Well, it really depends. It depends on your mentality, right? Like, I was just telling one of my friends, he's not really a trader. He doesn't really pay attention much to the charts. I told him, look, you know, we just had a 30% dump. If we're in this for the long game, yeah, it's a good time to buy Bitcoin, right? If you're accumulating Bitcoin every month and you're DCAing every month, and you don't really care about the chart and you're focused on the 10-year time horizon, it's a good time to buy Bitcoin under 87, under 90K, right? It's a good time to buy Bitcoin for sure. In the future, $87,000 Bitcoin is going to be considered extremely cheap, right? So yeah, it's a good time to buy Bitcoin, but it's all relative, because if you are into the charts and you bought Bitcoin much lower, then I'd say it's not really the best time to buy Bitcoin right now. You know, for me, I'm not interested in buying Bitcoin right now. I'm not interested in taking my cash and putting it into Bitcoin, right? Am I interested in stacking Bitcoin through trading? Sure. You know, inverse perpetual, or even trading with Tether and then putting some of that into Bitcoin? Sure. But am I willing to take cash from the Bitcoin I sold at 120K and put it back into Bitcoin now? No, I'm not. I want to wait until we're under 70,000. It's all relative, okay? And everyone's in a different situation. This is why you can't say there's a one size fits all. You know, there's a one size fits all. You know, you can never have a one size fits all. In life, there's very few one size fits alls. Right? It's a very communist mentality. And we all see what happens with communism. Shout out to Crazy Waffles. Is there a good long entry for ETH? So, Crazy Waffles, I would say this. If ETH is able to... Are you talking about like right now? If ETH is able to close back above here, above like the $3,000 level, then I'd say, especially if we like spend some time to range down here a little bit, and then we come back up above, that to me could signal an actual reason to long ETH. But until that happens, I'd say right now, there's no good reason to long ETH here. We need to see a reclaim of the support resistance flip, which right now is clearly $3,000, because that is our key support resistance flip right now. So until we're trading above that box, I would say I'd be cautious on the ETH entry. I would take an ETH long if I wake up and we're back above here and I see some kind of local entry. Then I would be interested in long ETH. But right now, I would be cautious. The next place I would be interested is the Fibonacci Golden Pocket, which is going to be around 2750, 2650, 2750. And also the high volume node of this consolidation is going to be around 2500. So like, I recognize Right now, we're in between basically two levels. To me, this is a no trade zone here. To me, I'd rather either wait to reclaim 3,000 or wait for another drop down to around the high volume node of this previous range. Confluence with the golden pocket in here. That's how I kind of approach it right now. You know, having lost major support, I like to wait for a sign that it's a fake out before I try and catch the knife below the support. Like, catching a falling knife below support is very dangerous because you don't have the reference point to say, okay, I'm wrong if we come down to this low. Like above 3,000, you know, then we can say I'm wrong if we come and make another lower low, right? We reclaim, back test. You can get long here and say, I know I'm wrong if we take this low, right? You have a clear invalidation. Here, it's like, okay, where are you going to be wrong? At 26,000, at 25,000. I mean, in that case, we're messing with like a 10% drawdown there, which is, when it comes to leverage trading, in my opinion, is that's right where you kind of stop leverage trading and just start spot trading. You know, if you catch the knife by the handle, that's a different story. True, but you need to see the handle. The handle must be visible. Shout out to Burley Mar, who says, when pump song, LOL. Well, we gotta wait for the bull market. I need a bot for these giveaways. 74K bottom. Shout out to Bullish on Parade. Jay, can you look at my gig along? I took a little bit of profit, but I'm greedy. Bullish on Parade. Is your long? Were you the one that longed it from the bottom? The Perry's talking about global money supply. All the lows are being taken out on Bitcoin. Where could the bottom be? Well, we just spent like an hour talking about where the bottom could be. Shout out to William, 6017, ETH CME gap, July filled, 2830. Okay, so we filled the July CME gap on ETH. Thank you so much for the super chat. So this could be a place to look for a bounce, right? It could be. Let's see what happens, guys. I'm waiting until Bitcoin comes to the 786. I feel that the 786 is the next place where I'm interested in a long right now. What happens if Michael Saylor's underwater? His average price is around 74, right? His average price is around 74. The Japanese yen carry trade unraveling could bring this much lower. Bear market already. I'm seeing market structure shift. Okay, so is the bear market here? Excellent question. Let's take a look at our monthly time frame. I think this is going to give us the answer. All right, so the monthly time frame right now, in my opinion, if we lose this level, then the bear market is confirmed. All right, we need to lose around 75,044 for the bear market to be, in my opinion, confirmed. Now remember, we have 2-month bearish divergence, right? So on the 2-month time frame, we have confirmed bearish divergence. On the weekly time frame, we have changed market structure in the sense that we have closed the weekly candle below the last lower high on the weekly uptrend, right? So we've closed the candle below the last higher low in the uptrend. And for the first time on the weekly, I'd say this has happened, right? When was the last time we saw that happen on the weekly? With the candle close? Not since the bear market. Not since the bear market. So I'd say it becomes more and more probable as time goes on that the bear market is here. More and more probable as time goes on that the bear market is here. Also, you know, again, I've been saying it for a while now, but if we flip this chart upside down and we look at the 2-week, if this was the chart that we were presented with, like as analysts, if you saw this chart, you would be very bullish. You would be super bullish. You would say we have a double drive of bullish divergence. You would say that the price basically made a low, right? And then took that low and is now confirming a candle back above. All right, we've confirmed the candle not only above the low, but we've even made a higher low. I'm sorry, we made a higher high locally, right? So this initial low was taken out, fake out, close above. Now we actually make a higher high. And you'd say to yourself, okay, we have a falling wedge that we're breaking out of, which is objectively speaking a bullish pattern. And you would look to basically get a move back up to at least the last low in the downtrend, which is going to be around $65,000. In an extremely bullish situation, you would look to the target of the wedge, which would be around $40,000. Okay, so is the bear market here? I can't say, but I can say that I'm glad I sold 120, and I'm not buying Bitcoin on spot until we're under 70. If the 4-year cycle is still a thing, then we're going to come to our 786 fib, just under 40K. If the 4-year cycle is broken, but the pullback is still on time, I would estimate we come back to below the $74,000 low, just so we can, once again, look, it really helps when things are upside down, just so we can trade the sideways range. Where's the sideways range right now? Right here. Clearly defined high, clearly defined low. This is the sideways range. All right. Goes all the way back to 2021. It really looks like we're going to go for the range highs and then come back to the range lows. And if this downtrend continues, which has been for this whole time, well, you know, we would expect something like that, right? So, is the bear market here? It becomes more probable as time goes on that the bear market is here. Confirmation means you're waiting to see if things happen the way you think. The more confirmation you have, the more of a move you miss. I mean, I have extreme confirmation that the bottom was in November 2022. My confirmation is we made a low, we changed market structure, we continue to make higher highs and higher lows for 3 years. All right, that's my confirmation that the bottom's in 2022. You know, but too bad. I have lots of confirmation, but I don't have any chance to make money. Right now, there's a lot of confirmation that the high is in, generally speaking, but nothing's ever certain in trading, right? But it's you know, we have confirmed 2-month bear div. It's the 4-year cycle. I expect more lows. I expect us to come down below 75,000. The only way we won't, in my opinion, is if we find support between our 786 and our 886 that we have right here. All right, this is the only hope we have right now for the Bitcoin to continue up. It's to bounce from here. Other than that, we're coming back down to the range low. In my opinion. In my opinion. Right? All right, shout out to Bullish on Parade, shout out to Sweezy. It's funny though, you'll lose a bunch of money to people like me. Okay, maybe I will. Maybe I will. I definitely don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, maybe I don't. Maybe I don't. Here's the thing. I might be an absolute moron. And I am. I'm a high school dropout. Okay? I'm pretty much an absolute idiotic loser in life in every possible way, right? I smell bad, ugly, retarded, all those things, right? Didn't wear cool shoes in school. All right, wore Walmart shoes. Everyone else had Nikes. Look, I might be dumb, but the purpose of these markets, in my opinion, is to make money, right? We're here to make money. So I've made my money on the Bitcoin. I cannot be sad or upset that I followed my plan this whole since November 2022, 3 years of following my plan. I sold 60, I sold 80, I sold 100, I sold 120. I don't regret it. I used that money to do things in life that I will never, ever regret. I mean, if Bitcoin goes to $2 billion, I will be satisfied with the things I was able to accomplish with the Lord's grace by the Bitcoin investment that I made in the last 3 years, okay? So I'll be a happy old retard. You know what? Ignorance is bliss, they say. So, you ever notice little kids, real little kids, and grown-ups that aren't all there are always super happy because ignorance is bliss, man. So, I wish, look, I wish I could be bullish on Bitcoin right now. You guys, if you've seen the channel, you know I've been hanging on for dear life with trying to stay bullish here because of how much I want these altcoins to pump. But when you have a confirmed 2-month bear div, which for the last 3 times it's happened, it was the top. You gotta expect a little bit of a pullback. And I'm even open-minded enough to say this time is different because of all the institutional money, in which case we come back to backtest. Instead of getting a 70% pullback to the 786 at 40K, we just get a 50% pullback to backtest the between, 65, 75-ish, whatever this zone is before the pump, right? So I'm still bullish on Bitcoin, but right now, this environment to me does not look very bullish, all right? And it's not because of the purple candle. And trust me, come back in a week or two, even if we're pumping, all right? Even if we're back at $105,000, I'm still gonna be bearish. Unless we reclaim 112, I'm gonna be bearish. And if we reclaim 112, I'm gonna be looking actually for another short. Because when you have these bearish signals on the chart, it is the writing on the wall. Like, it's the writing on the wall. In my opinion, what do I know? I'm just going based off the past, right? So the past, we have 3 out of 3, 2-month confirmed divergence, which gives us the top, all right? In one instance, the top was in as soon as we printed the red dot. In the second instance, the top was not in when we print the red dot. We make a double top, and then we drop. Either way, it doesn't matter. Why? Because if we're talking about our spot Bitcoin, right? If somebody sold here, were they stupid? You sold 65K. Oof, you idiot. We went up to 69K. All right. On the high term time frame, does it matter if you sold here at 65K or here at 69K? No. It does not matter at all. All right. Does it matter if you bought at 17K or 15K? No. It does not matter at all. All right. So when I see this here, it's like, how much more momentum can we possibly have to the upside? I want to believe, guys. You gotta understand me. I mean, I'm a crypto guy. I've got a lot of crypto. I want to believe, but I'm just trying to be honest with myself here, man. Just trying to be honest with myself. I think we need a bit more of a pullback. I think we need a bit more of a pullback based on this 2-month time frame before we get another big run. All right. And it might not be as deep as previous pullbacks. But it looks like it needs to be deeper than 30%. That's where we're at right now, 30%. All right, we got some super chats in the house, baby. Major shout out to all the super chats. I think we got them all. All right, shout out to Infinite Growth. He says, can you look at Circle USDC stock price? Oh, okay. Yeah. Is this? Yeah. Ooh. This can't be Circle, is it? Nah. This is the wrong ticker, right? Is that the right ticker? If this is the right ticker, it looks not so great for Circle. You know, is this the right ticker? Let me know. Okay, well, it doesn't look so great, man. It's only been listed since June, huh? Doesn't look great. I know. I remember when USDC had the big depeg back in March of 2023. You guys remember? It went down to like 79 cents. USDC, the stablecoin, went down to 79 cents. I don't have much to say about this chart simply because there's no support to look at. There's no bullish change of market structure to look at. There's no bullish divergence to look at. So I don't have much to say about it. There's no data to analyze right now. We're in a free fall mode. I'd say the only support we do have is 76.63 resistance, which was the listing price, and then a daily order block. We could look at the volume from the high. If we can analyze volume, we might not be able to look at volume on this. Might not be volume. Yeah, it looks like there's no volume. Yeah, it's really difficult to analyze. I'm sorry, but thank you so much for the... Okay, people say it is or it's not. Look under stocks. Okay. Here we go. That's the same thing. Same thing on stocks. On New York Stock Exchange. Short term, the bear market. Long term, nothing, says Sweezy. Yeah, Sweezy, look, everyone agrees with you, man. Like, no one in here is saying Bitcoin's going to zero, bro. All right, we're all super bullish on Bitcoin. All right, we all are super bullish on Bitcoin in the long term. I mean, look at the Bitcoin chart, right? When in doubt, zoom out. Go to the 1 year chart on Bitcoin, right? And voila. It's in a massive uptrend. And you know what? This is going to be a very strange bull market if the top is in. I hope we close December with the blue candle, man, to keep this thing going. Because 2025, this is going to be breaking the 3 blue, 1 purple pattern that we've had since 2015. But yeah, Bitcoin's in an extreme uptrend, right? There's nothing bearish about this chart. All right, I was just telling my wife yesterday, we were in the car and we were talking about Bitcoin, how it's insane it is, you know, that basically from the low that we have here, which was basically 0 cents, right? I mean, 0 cents, we'll take it back to 2010 at 0 cents, right? To 126,000 is insane, right? And just me personally, like, when did I get into Bitcoin? I got into Bitcoin, let's say around $600-700. All right, so I was saying, man, personally, I'm up 16,000% on my investment. That's insane. That really is insane. So I'm not a Bitcoin bear at all. I'm so happy and blessed that I am into Bitcoin, that I've been into Bitcoin. But as somebody who's been in Bitcoin for a long time, look, we have to recognize the fact that it doesn't go straight up, right? It doesn't go straight up. It goes up and down, right? But in general, it goes up. Short-term bear market, long-term nothing. Exactly right. Exactly right. But here's another thing. Sweezy, I'm a crypto day trading YouTube channel. If I had your mentality, I would make 1 video every 4 years, and then I wouldn't have a YouTube channel at all. So we're here in the trenches, man. We are here in the trenches, right? This is a trading channel. So I'm a trader. That's what I love to do. I'm here in the trenches, man. We are here in the price action every single day. Every single week, every single month. When I go back in time and I look at the charts, when I see this, for example, When I see this, I get memories of where I was in my life at that time, right? When I see this, I get memories of where I was in life at that time. When I see this, I get vivid memories of where I was in life at that time. When I see this, like you see these patterns, I see these patterns, I know exactly where I was when this happened, right? Like it's crazy, but you're in this, right? I know exactly what I was doing when this happened. You know, I remember exactly what I was doing when this happened. When this happened right here, I was pulling into the hospital. My son had to have surgery. Bitcoin rejected from the 618. I know this was the 618. I don't even have to look at the chart. I know this was the Fibonacci golden pocket high to low. Look at that. Look at that. I know that. How do I know that? Because we're in this every day, bro. We're here every single day. That's what we do. We're traders. We're not just hodlers. We're traders. All right? You look back, you look at this, I know exactly what I was doing in life when this happened, right? I was at the beach when this happened with my parent-in-laws. All right? I remember exactly what I was doing, right? So, I know exactly what I was doing right here when the price action was doing this. I know exactly what I was doing. I was driving to get my truck fixed because there was a recall on my truck. Right? We're in this every day. You look back at the Bitcoin chart. It's like listening to music, right? All these memories, right? I remember exactly what I was doing right here, man. I'll remember this like it was yesterday. I was sitting in my basement at my desk. I was taking a long trade right here because of the bullish divergences on the 4-hour and the daily trigger wave. And this is right before Elon Musk tweeted. Elon Musk tweeted hashtag BTC Bitcoin right here. Man, I don't even have to look at the date or anything. I know exactly what was going on in my life because we're in this every single day, bro. This isn't just a crypto channel where we talk about Bitcoin's bullish forever. Buy the dip, bro. Buy the dip. Make sure to go touch grass. Crypto people, make sure to go touch grass. Buy the dip. Touch some grass. Don't just only look at the chart. Nah. We're here to trade, baby. That's what we're here to do. You know what I'm saying? You remember the stream from the car parking lot? We're not paying to hear about your parent-in-laws. Oh, yes, you are, Profit Prescriptions. And speaking of paying, I'm about to pay some of you guys because I'm about to pay some of you guys because we're going to give away $1,000 on this live stream. All right, we're giving away $1,000 on this live stream right now. All you need to do is sign up to KCEX. All right, just sign up to KCEX. Link in the pinned chat comment. And when you sign up to KCEX using the link in the comment here, get your user ID. All right, get your user ID. And post it in the chat, and that's how we're going to do the giveaway. In fact, we should do it now. All right, we should do it now. Let's do it now. Let's do a giveaway now. You guys want to do a giveaway? Let's do a giveaway. What I want you guys to do is spam the chat with your your user ID from KCEX. What I'm going to do is I'm going to count down from 10, and whoever are the first 5 highlighted get $200. How many likes do we have, by the way? We have 500 likes. Guys, if we can get 1,000 likes by the time we do this giveaway, I'll give away another $500. All right, you guys ready? Here we go. 10, 9, 8. We're counting down. Post your ID, baby. 7, 6.5, 6, 5.5, 5, 4.5, 4, 3.75, 3.65, 3.5, 3.49, 3.3, 3.21, 3.14, 3, 2, 1. All right. Let's see who our winners are. All right, so Beam Marlboro. Right here. B Marlboro. Ben Ozies. All right. These are our winners right here, guys. Congratulations. Beam Marlboro, Ben Assis, Benson Calls, J5V, Fresh Kool-Aid, and Penka Costa Q1K. Congratulations to our winners. I'm going to go ahead and send you guys over to KCEX. All right, so I'll send that over right now. People who won yesterday should be getting your stuff because they were submitted to the team yesterday. Shout out to our winners, man. Congratulations. Congratulations. Man, that was exhilarating and fun. Shout out to R Pink in the chat. Shout out to Make Me a Million in the chat. Yeah, people keep spamming. Shout out to HFG, bro. God bless you, HFG. Good to see you, man. All right, Bitcoin's dumping back down. Let's see what she's gonna do. Let's see what she's gonna do. Let's see what she's gonna do. Me hearties, me mateys. Are two of them the same? Let's check. Oh, you're right. Oh, snap. All right. Then Beverly Maher. You're right. Wow, two of them are the same. Then Beverly Maher, T4V. 55207477. All right. That's tricky there. Guys, don't do that, man. That's messed up, Benson. That's so tricky. All right. All right, so shout out to... That's a good catch right there. Burley Maher T4V is our 5th winner. And you know what? I didn't say you couldn't do this. In the future, I'm going to say you can't do this. So don't do this in the future, otherwise you're disqualified. But that's actually a really good technique. I never said you couldn't do it, so all is fair in that. But wow, you must have 2 devices, 2 accounts. That's some sneaky stuff. Look at that. All right, so shout out to Burley Maher. T4V is going to be our 5th winner right there. Wow. Why not Lark Panetta? The reason why not Lark Panetta is because Lark Panetta, I said whoever's Beam, Marlboro, and after. So the winner, the first one to get chosen was Beam Marlboro. I said after this, the next 4. So this is the first one, 2nd, 3rd, 4th. This one doesn't count. And then 5th would be Burley Maher. Burley Maher, Burley Maher, Burley Maher, Burley Maher all the time. Burley Maher, Burley Maher, Burley Maher Clementine. Shout out to Keith Mitchell. Maybe give it to Lark. Who's Lark? Let's see. Was Lark one of the winners? I don't see Lark. Oh, Lark Pancetta. Yeah, no, I can't give it to Lark Pancetta. I could, but that's not how the game goes, guys. All right. Let's check out the order flow here. Decrease of OI. Nothing too crazy. Nothing too crazy. Let's see. Let's see if we get another drip drop, drip drop. The hyphen in the name is all bots. I mean, I don't know if it's a bot or if it's not. I don't know, man. It's all the same guy? Is that true? Is that even possible? I have to go and actually look into that. I don't know. Is it possible to literally have all these people to be the same person with a different user ID because of a bot? You have to understand, all the YouTube names got changed. All right, so your YouTube name doesn't show up the way it used to. Look at the chat yourself. Everyone has the @ sign and all these weird like underscores and dashes. It didn't used to be like that. Like everybody has it now. Even people who have been here, like Larry Garcia, for example. Larry Garcia, he's been here for a long time. I know Larry Garcia. All right, he's in the Casper crew. His name didn't used to look like that. So I know Larry Garcia is not a bot. Even though he has the -E5Z, right? So I don't know what that's about. But I'm going to do some research and figure out if it's even possible to all of a sudden have a bot. No, who the heck would have a bot like that and just wait for these giveaways? And they'd have to have all the KCEX user IDs. That would be a lot of work. If someone put that much work into winning $1,000 on KCEX, I feel almost like they deserve it, honestly. If someone put that much work into making hundreds of accounts on KCEX with hundreds of user IDs, which means they need to manually create hundreds of emails, and then they sat around waiting for me to do a giveaway, they kind of deserve it, man. That's a lot of work, you know? I don't see you doing that. I don't see you going out making hundreds of emails, hundreds of KCEX accounts. And now after if it was a bot and they're all the same person, now he has to go through his hundreds of KCEX accounts, log in with the password and the 2-factor authentication text message and all this crap from each account. It's just a lot of work, man. I almost feel like they deserve it. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Burley Mar. Burley Mar in the chat. Burley Mar is a secret bot. Burley Mar is a secret bot. Yeah, exactly. If you're not out there making your own KCEX giveaway bot, you're not working hard enough. Seriously. Now we're going to have a whole bunch of bots. If everyone does that next time, the chat will be so insanely fat. Can you imagine if everyone has a bot with thousands of KCEX user IDs? It will be so fast I won't be able to see it. That would be crazy. All right, we're heading down towards our next support around 85.5. All right, that's our next support. It's the macro 786 here. The macro 787 CS 786 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Prophet says I ramble. Bro, I don't think I ramble, man. Do you guys think I ramble? Let me tell you a story. Back when I was a youngin', I had to give a book report in high school. And I didn't prepare anything for the book report at all. And I get up in front of the class, and you know what I did? Do you know what I did? I just opened up the Yap and started talking. And things just came out, and they came out, and they came out, and they came out. Right? And I'm just talking there. I'm really connecting with the people. I'm connecting with the teacher. You know? Making that good old eye contact. Got an A on the report. But after I was done, some people said I just rambled a lot. But I thought I was spitting out some quality facts. I thought I really touched the heart on that book report. It wasn't a book report. I forget what kind of report it was. It was a public speaking project. There you go. Oh, I'm rambling now, you say? Am I rambling now? You guys think I'm rambling now, huh? You guys think I'm rambling now? Shout out to Sergeant Squid. Shout out to My Crypto Goods. Shout out to everybody in the chat, man. God bless you guys. I got an A+. So that story was like half true and half made up, but I actually did get an A+ on my public speaking exam in high school. But that was the only good grade I got the whole year. So I couldn't even pass the dang class, even though I did good on that. It was the senior project. I didn't even graduate high school. You know, it was a weird time in high school. I didn't want to let my parents down. So I calculated, you know, how much work I would have to do in order to pass. Right? So, like, I remember in astronomy class, I really loved astronomy class. I calculated so I could take the second half of the third marking period and the whole fourth marking period completely off. I did nothing. Like, literally nothing. And I'd still be able to get a D so I could pass and graduate to make my parents happy. Right? I remember my astronomy teacher saying, Jason, what's the problem? You were doing so great the first half of the year, and now you have a 33%. And I said, Mr. Hine, that was his name, Mr. Hine, said, how is it possible I have a 33%? I've literally done nothing. I've done no homework. I've done no classwork. I don't even bring books to class. I bring a pillow in my backpack and sleep on the desk. How do I have such a high percent? He didn't answer me. So I still don't know how I ended up with such a high grade. But I ended up doing something really stupid. Getting suspended from school. Basically what I did was, I'll tell you what I did, man. You know, I don't regret doing it. What I did was, I dressed up like really weird, and I went into my friend's math class, and I started taking chalk and drawing all over the board and screaming and pretending to teach the class, and yelled at the teacher to sit down and shut up and don't interrupt me. And I ended up getting suspended for that. And because I got suspended, then that was just a downhill, you know, and then my band ended up going on tour, and I never graduated high school. That's how that all happened, right? So it was a weird fight. I wanted to make my parents happy, so I did try hard in some areas. You know, I calculated how much work I had to do. But in the end, all that work was meaningless. You know? All that work was meaningless. You can't see your posts during giveaways, Invar. You got to put it on live chat instead of on you got to put it on live chat instead of top chat. There's two options here. There's live chat. This is going to show you everybody's. All right? And then there's top chat. Top chat will only show you some people. So Invar, YouTube doesn't deem you important enough to be in top chat. So you got to chat more. All right? You know? Who's asking for the high school diplomas now? Yeah, I've never needed a high school diploma, which is interesting. I've never needed a high school diploma. And I've had jobs. And they never asked. And they never cared. And so that's kind of made me think, so what's the big deal about the high school diploma? You know? I don't know. I like the fact that I don't have a high school diploma, actually. I'm actually happy that I didn't graduate high school. I'm happy because I didn't graduate high school because I had more important things to do in life. And in hindsight, I made the right decision to not care about high school. You know? Let's see, we're coming down to our 786. We're coming down to our 786. Your Luna is still alive. I have chickens. How do I eat the eggs? I'm a poached egg kind of guy. Poached eggs are the best. Well, how do I eat my eggs? I like them over easy. I like them so the yolk is still raw in the middle, a little jammy on the outsides, but the whites are fully cooked. And that's how I eat them. You know. Have I been thinking about the college? Man, I did not even consider going to college when I was in high school because I didn't know what I wanted to do, right? So, like, what always kind of confused me is everyone pressures you to, like, go to college, but most people don't know what they want to do. And, like, they kind of have to kind of figure it out as they go. So, it always seemed like a really bad investment to me to like waste tens of thousands of dollars that I didn't have on college when I don't know what I want to major in. So that just always seemed like a really bad investment to me. So I never even considered going to college at all. I never considered it. So I'm not saying it's bad to go to college, like, but I am saying if you don't know what you want to do, why would you go to college? Just wait until you know what you want to do, and then you have a goal. If you're gonna go waste money on education without a goal, what the heck are you doing? Here we go. I shouldn't have closed that short, but I don't care because I shorted the bottom. I made some money. Let's see. At least I still got the swing short open here. Let's see. We're coming on down. We're going down, 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 down. Yo, major shout to Radar Apologetics. He says, you go to college to learn. You don't need to go to college. Yeah, you don't need to go to college unless you need to learn something, right? Unless there's something you need to learn. Then it's important. I mean, if you're trying to be a doctor, a lawyer, or any kind of specialized practice where you need that education, then you got to go to college to learn. But if you don't know what you want to do, then it's just a giant waste of money. Because in the beginning, you're just going to be like taking like math and English and all this stupid stuff that like you already took in high school, except now you're paying tens of thousands of dollars for it. I know so many people that went to college for like a year or two and then dropped out, and now they're in debt. They should have just not went. And I'm not school material either. Trust me, man. I've got some kind of learning disability. I'd probably be classified as something if I went to school these days. You know, can't sit still. Teachers calling my mom, you know, Jason can't sit still. He's walking in place all day during the class. He just stands there walking in place. And he keeps, every time he answers a question, he screams into the plunger. You know, I'm pretty sure they put you on Ritalin for that these days. Vegas, shout out to Vegas Claw. Now that right there is a goal. When I grow up, I want to have 6 baby mamas, and I want to have 14 kids. Then go to the store for bread and milk, and not return. Man, you know, okay. Do you need to go to college? I think you need to go to college for that. I think you do. I think you got to go to college for that one, Vegas Claw. If I'm not mistaken. Bitcoin is not more scalable than Litecoin. I guess I'm breaking into a conversation. Litecoin's a pretty cool asset. You know, the fact that we're grinding so slow down here, it makes me feel like the dump isn't over. Like yesterday, remember how yesterday I knew the dump wasn't over when we were here? Where were we yesterday? Where did we get that CDW yesterday? I don't even remember, man. But you could just tell by the way price creeps down to places that, like, we still have a ways to go. I'm looking for a scalp from this area. Let's see if we can get one. Let's check out the order flow quickly. Real quick on the order flow. Guys, tomorrow is game day. In 24 hours, it's going to be Casper Crew game day. We're going to be giving away thousands of dollars in the Casper Crew VIP Discord. Let's check it out. Is there an egg code today? Yes. There is an egg code today, guys. The code for eggs is gonna be Hang on. Let me try and find it. Peaches. Egg code is peaches. All right. Peaches. Let's put it on the screen for all to see. This is the egg code for today, guys. Peaches. Peachy keen. Peachy keen. If you don't know what eggs are, guys, eggs are the Casper Crew currency. The Casper Crew currency to win cash, prizes, and a whole bunch of other stuff. So, in the free and paid Discords, right, we've got ourselves the egg rewards section. All right, so basically eggs are your pathway to giveaways, rewards, and prizes. Here's how you can earn them. Discord activity, monitored by the mods. Mods can tip you eggs for being helpful in the Discord. Twitter engagement, retweeting posts, and all that kind of stuff. Live streams, that's right now. If you watch, like, and subscribe, you can submit the code over here right now in the quests section. Click the claim button, type in peaches, and you can get eggs. If you're a VIP, you get 5 eggs. If you're a non-VIP, you get 1 egg. And these eggs can be used for prizes. In fact, every week we have raffles. Here's our last winners who won the $50, $100, and $200 giveaway. You can win free VIP memberships. You can use the eggs to play other games and win other prizes. And of course, guys, every single month we have games in the Casper Crew throughout the weeks in the voice chat, as well as not just the voice chat, but in other channels and stuff, playing little games. And then we have our actual game day, which is going to be tomorrow on November 21st, where we're going to be giving away I think we're going to be giving away about $2,500 plus some VIP memberships. All right, so make sure to check it out. All right, we got games going on, I guess, right now as well in the Discord, but I guess I'm missing them. We got trivia games, we got Garctic games, we got Rumble games. Make sure to check it out. All right, make sure to check it out. Peaches. Peachy keen. That's the code. Peachy keen. I think Bitcoin's gonna dump down a tad bit more here. That's the egg code. Yeah, knife catch the 786. I think I'm going to try knife catch the 786 as well. You know, tight stop. If we don't get a real nice bounce, I'm going to close it out, you know. Man, oh man, what a drippity drip. What a drippity droop drop. What a drippity droop drop. Big limit order at 86K. We have a big limit at 86K. Maybe it will get filled. I don't see too big of an order. Man, we've got bull divs forming the whole way. I think the 786 looks nice. It looks a little bit nice. Money flow dumped and Bitcoin climbed. What do you think about that? Where did money flow dump? I mean, we have bull divs here, you know, starting to form. Are you talking about this little bounce here? I don't know. I mean, you call that pumping? I mean, the money flow is not going to give you every little one candle, bro. It's going to just give you the overall direction. You know? What do you guys think? Should we go long now? I'm not going long now. I'm not going long now. I need a good reason to go long. And this ain't a good reason for me right now. We're at 86. Yeah, this ain't a good reason for me, guys. We got a lot of supports coming down below 85.5. So, I'm not... this is no man's land to me right here. This is no man's land to me right here. Man, this is intense, man. I mean, this is some intense Bitcoin action. The coin blast depth chart is acting screwy, he says, preparing for war. That's quite interesting. We have the bullish hope of the fear and greed index. We also have the bullish hope of the last support zone between the 786 and 886, and the bullish hope of a potential weekly hidden bullish divergence. We have some bullish hope, okay? But in general, even if we get a bounce from here, I would expect a lower high to be coming in, all right? That's what I would expect. We got some bull div on the 5 minutes. Sell into mech. All right. Yeah, so John says to sell into AI. Yeah, I mean, honestly, even we're seeing miners pivot into AI right now. I mean, it's interesting. We're seeing Bitcoin mining companies pivot into AI and quantum computing or high power computing. So, yeah, I mean, I don't doubt that AI, I mean, crypto and AI, they do go hand in hand, right? They do go hand in hand. Shout out to Splashfire, who's grabbing the plunger tightly, ready to... No freestyle today? Drop a track for me to freestyle over. Drop a royalty-free track. Drop a royalty-free track. Boom bap style. Old school boom bap style rap. Hip-hop track. I'm not really feeling a freestyle right now, but if someone drops a track in the chat, all right, copy and paste the name of the YouTube video. So like a link won't work, but if you have a chat, not a chat, if you have a track, copy and paste the title and post it in the YouTube chat. Man, I can't talk. How am I going to do a freestyle? How am I going to do a freestyle? It has to move me emotionally. All right. I don't know if I have a freestyle in me today. I had one yesterday. That was good yesterday. But look, I'm a little tired. I had an intense full body workout last night. it was a pretty intense full body workout. So I'm feeling a little bit worn out today. But let's see. All right, so let's see if this sad piano guitar. Okay, it's a sad. It's a sad. Let's see if it moves me. It has to really move me. All right. So far, I don't hear anything. Is the site muted? Yeah. I don't know if this is gonna move me. Man, this Bitcoin dump, it's got me real sad. This is really sad. If the beat doesn't really drop, there's no way. Here we go, baby. Yeah, here we go. Yeah, here we go. I said I'm sorry, but the Bitcoin price is scarring. Gotta sell all my stuff, no Ferrari. Cause you know, I tried to get rich, but the Bitcoin bonds crashed, end up in the ditch. Here's the sitch, I lost all I had. I gotta go and tell my wife and she'll be so mad. Jay Casper, you're trading so bad. We lost all the stuff that we thought we had. Oh no, here we go, Bitcoin gotta bounce. Just kidding, like a mouse, like we're sitting on the couch with the slouch. Hey bro, go to the gym, train your arms and chest. Now we get it in. Jay Casper with the plunger. Bitcoin price about to go under. Don't you know we got the bear market starting? Is Jay Casper smart or is he retarded? We got the plunger in the hand as we're driving from the east to the west, sand to sand with the beach. Don't you know I got it in my hand every single day, tasting kinda bland. Chicken rice and the broccoli, sad piano music, better listen to me. Up in the kitchen, eating the trees. Next thing you know, I gotta go and take a pee. Cause asparagus make your pee smell bad. Worst thing smell that we ever had. So sad that I need a big hug. Thankfully, I always pee in my pee jug. Won't the beat drop again? Bitcoin hanging out with all her good friends. Driving around town in my Mercedes Benz. Hanging out with all the cool kids like Ben. You know, this, I hate that hang on. There's too much, there's too much no beat. I can't rap over no beat, I'm sorry. But, you know, when the beat dropped, it was okay. It was all right. It was okay, it was all right. But does anyone have a different beat that maybe could move me a little bit more? It has to move me emotionally, you know? I need an emotionally moving beat here. Post one in the chat. And if we don't have one, then I don't know. We got people in the chat arguing big time. We got some arguing between the Perry123 and I think Sweezy. You guys arguing? Can't we all get along? Can't we all just get along in the chat, man? Can't we all just get along? All right, here we go. Getchy has this one here. Criminal, old school hip hop beat. All right, let's check it out. Yeah. Criminal. Yeah. I can feel it, baby. Yeah. Here we go. Market making such criminals, giving you the messages, you know it's so subliminal. Put it under your tongue like sublingual. Next thing I know, we're coming out like the jingle, 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 ka-ching. You're making profits all day, coming to the charts just to get paid. Blue candles pumping up in the space. House full of aces, that's how we play. Then we pump it, taking profit, can you spot it? Cause we're about to come up right to the next golden pocket. Then we drop it, market makers can't spot it. To top it, to lock it in, then the profits start to spin, baby. Here we go, like we're swimming in the pool. There's a Casper out here, and they say he's not a fool. On the treadmill every day, cause he dropped right out of school. Next thing you know, man, that guy's such a tool. Here we go, I got the plunge, about to rap into the plunger like we're going under. Here's my number, about to give it to you, 1, 2. Jason Casper, candles turning purple, then they blue. Market makers I support, don't mess with me, about to get hoard. Are we going long? Heck no, baby, we short. From the top, giving in advance, ya hort. Here we go in the Casper crew. J Casper, sit back, I'll show you how we do. CDW, 1 minute MCB. Bitcoin, I'm the best crypto MC. Yeah, listen to my crypto flow. J Casper in the house, let me tell you what I know. Hanging out with my good friend Joe, looking all around like we want to blow. The bubbles flying up into the air, walking on the treadmill in my underwear. Don't have pants, but I don't care. Hopefully we don't quiet, then I scare ya. I say boo, listen to me, I'ma listen to you. I'ma take you to the zoo, then we take it back like we are a fool. Come and drink coffee, you know that's how we do. Cause so insane, got the caffeine in my veins, going crazy like I'm up in the membrane. Looking down like we're not in the trains, cause we're outside looking so strange for days. Yeah, you know I do it the same way. Coming to the charts, another day, another trade. I give it to you straight, you know I never give it gay. J Casper so serious, he never play. Got the towel for about an hour. In the tree, next thing you know we scowl. Cause the jewels on the case in the desk. Bitcoin price, what she gonna do next? Hey, J Casper trading in the house, looking over for the Bitcoin bounce. Oh snap, baby, let me take a peek to see if Marcus Cypher B has any uneven butt cheeks. We want big on the left, so juicy. Skinny on the right to rind out the booty. And I don't even know if you can spot it, but we gotta bounce right from the next golden pocket. Top it, like the market maker socket. Got the purple and the orange coming out like I lock it. To the 786, Bitcoin price back to her old tricks. Tell you what's that story, it's not boring. Back in high school, looking so glowing. I had a crush on a girl named Six Juanita. I said, hey baby, let's get some pizza. She said, yo, I'm gluten free. I'm a vegan too, so baby get away from me. I don't wanna eat pizza, you see. J Casper, you don't give me glee, cause I hate you. I don't like you like that. You're stuck in the friend zone, what about that? She rejected me, and the candles turned purple. Jason Casper's such a nerd like Steve Urkel. But I know the truth, why she dumped me, just to proof. She wasn't into nice guys, look at her eyes in disguise. She likes criminals like Sam Bankman-Fried. Yeah, market makers be criminals, giving you the signals, so sublingual. Don't you know, we're out here subliminal. Sam Bankman-Fried, looking double chinimal. Cause he got uneven man boobs. Don't mean to be rude, but look at the tube. Nice and big on the left, skinny on the right. He ain't got nothing left, but now he's up in the prison. SBF, you know that he be missing his girl, Six Juanita. So I asked her out again, I said, hey baby, would you be my friend? She said, Jay, you know, maybe this time. Now we're in our 30s, we could be fine, be an item. Go out for pasta and wine at the Olive Garden. I could take you some time, and don't you know about the pasta, yeah man. Jason Casper is a Rasta, yeah. So now we rapping like this. Jason Casper, dreadlocks, Jamaican, we his. Oh, that was the end. Okay. Yeah, okay. That was cool. Yeah, I like that beat. It really did move me to emotions, guys. It did move me to... It did move me to emotions. Alright. Okay, alright. Okay, alright, okay. The market makers be criminals. Oh... Seriously, man, those market makers, they be criminals. How's the price action here? I hope we don't pump. The fact that we're getting a little bit of a pump here makes me think we're going to get another bit of a dump here. Let's unmute the site. My goodness. All right, guys. Let's see. We've been live for 2 hours. I was really hoping for some crazy price action during this. I really was. All right, guys. I think I'm going to head out, man. God bless you guys. In Jesus' name. I do pray you and your families are super blessed. And Lord willing, guys, I'll see you tomorrow. Make sure to like, subscribe, click the bell. Peace.